Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, you are watching the podcast, The Life in the Mirror. And I want to thank you for taking your busy time to watch this video. Today's topic is going to be about making an emotional decision. Making an emotional decision. Now, we all can relate to this, especially making an emotional decision. Say, like, for example, this is house you want to buy or a car you want to buy, and it looks so good. You're like, oh, I want that, and you just make just also you just buy it because off of emotion, and then you find out on the back end, oh, I couldn't afford this house or I couldn't afford this vehicle. Just making an emotional decision. Let me give you a definition of an emotional decision: relating to a person's emotions, arousing or characterizing by intense feelings. I like that part when they say intense feelings. It's just something just comes over you. It just arouse you, just come over you, and just make you make a decision that sometimes you might regret. Especially on the back end, you might regret it. You have decisions. You have two types of decisions. You have emotional, and then you have a logical. You know what I'm saying? So when you make a decision, are you making an emotional decision or are you making a logical decision? Emotional decisions can be bad because they can prevent you from understanding what's happening and can hinder your ability to reach a goal. I like that situation is say can prevent you from understanding what's happening and can hinder your ability to reach goals, especially when you make an emotional decision. Sometimes all understanding go out the window. Sometimes are you focused on the facts? Are you focused on what's in front of you? Say, for example, like voting. Some people will make an emotional decision, regardless what the candidate believe in, what the candidate, what their policy is, or they say, regardless, I'm going to vote for this person because of their race, or I'm going to vote for this person because of their gender, or they believe in this. Not taking the time to say, what is this candidate policies? What do this person believes in? And do they align with what I believe in? And do their policies align with what I agree with? Just making a decision sometimes, like I said, off of race or gender. Just like I'm just going to vote for this person regardless. That's making an emotional decision. Just like I said, like a house, you just go in, you see this house has everything, and even if you can't afford it, you be like, you know what, I gotta have this house, and I just buy it, and then all of a sudden, wow, I'm in this situation that I should never been on, especially when it comes to the back end, and when it finally hit you, you like, wow, how did that get myself in this situation? Did I make an emotional decision or did I make a logical decision? Did I take the time to look at the facts? Did I take the time to look at the situation? Is this going to hurt me on the back end? Or what's going to happen to me on the back end with this situation? Taking that step back and say, you know what, let me look at this with my eyes open. Let me take my emotions out of this situation and look at it and say, what should I do with this situation? Let me give you some tips on emotional decision. The first thing is say acknowledge your emotions. Uh, you have to again take a step back and say, is this an emotional decision or is this a logical decision? You have to, come to yourself with knowledge and say, what what is I'm gonna get out of this situation? Why is I'm making this decision? Is how this decision is going to affect me. You have to acknowledge that especially when this your emotionals is you're gonna put you in a bad situation. Take the time to say, you know what, I don't think I'm about to make a good decision. So you take the time to acknowledge your emotions. Uh, consider this emotional bias. Just like I brought the voting situation. Some people, regardless what the candidate or what they done in their life, I mean, they might have their character might be bad or something. They might did something bad, and some people making that emotional decision like, I don't care about that. I'm going to vote for this person regardless because of this. Not taking that time, taking a step back and say, but women, how are their policies going to affect me? Again, not being biased, just taking your time to say, I need to think logical with this situation. Using emotional intelligence. It say here, emotional intelligence allows people to recognize and manage their emotions. consider their emotions of others, and make more rational choices. I like that right here say emotional intelligence allow people to recognize and manage their emotions. Uh, when you using your intelligence and you using your wisdom, it makes you make a better decision. It makes you take a step back and take a second view of what's going on or the facts or whatever you want to do in your life. If it's a goal, it makes you take a step back and look at it again. Be mindful. It say right here, observe your thoughts and emotions as they arise without reaching impulsivity. This can help you discover the roots of your emotions and learn to banish them. Uh, I like this be mindful. And that also ties up with the use of emotional intelligence. When you being mindful, when again, I know I keep bringing this up, taking that step back and looking at it and say, what is the root uh, of this situation? Why do I keep making this decisions like this? What is causing me to make these decisions? Because I keep ending up in the same situation. I keep going off of my emotions, and I keep ending up in the same situation. Taking the time to think to yourself, and sometimes you're gonna have to just step out of the situation and look at it. Take your emotions out of it and say how this is going to affect. And then right here it say gather relevant information. Oh, I like that. Gather information. So when you gather information, that's one thing that's going to take the emotions out of it. When you take the time to do your research, say like if you about to buy a house, you do your research because sometimes the banker can say, oh, you can afford this, and they say, oh, you can afford this, and then you go buy the house and like, oh, I could not afford this, you know. So take a step back, start doing your research on whatever topic or whatever goal you're trying to reach or whatever thing you are trying to do in life, or take your time to do the research. And when you do the research, you start finding things out. And that's when you start realizing, you know what? I don't think this situation is for me. I don't think this goal is for me, especially when you take the time and you do your research and you look everything over. Because sometimes you might not read the fine print. Especially when you make a decision and not reading the fine print, and then on the back end you're like, oh man, why did I make the decision? Why did I didn't take the time to think this all over? And again, if I take a look back, I might make a better decision or a different decision. So I just want y'all out there, I just want to thank y'all for watching this video. And please take your emotions out of a decision you're about to make. And if you feel emotional, go talk to somebody, and they might help you with the situation. They might be able to pull you back and say, hey, I think this is an emotional decision. I don't think this is a good decision for you. That other person might help you and say, hey, maybe you need to come with this with a different approach. But I just want to thank y'all for watching this video. Take your time, and when you make a decision, take your time. And I definitely can relate to this. And I'm human, and I have made emotional decisions. So this is also for me. And I just thank y'all for watching this video. God bless.